Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Races Driving League for Season 18, Round 7 of the Championship for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix here at the fantastic Autodromo Enzo Edina Ferrari, otherwise known as Imola. I'm your host, Zach RC, taking you through all the evening's exciting racing action for the 7th round of what has so far been a very entertaining Races Driving League Championship and a hotly contested championship too. Still the same three guys who are challenging for the championship lead. I think we should have one of them emerging from the pit lane now. Rather, it's the teammate of the driver who was formerly the world championship leader, Salvo Grumio. This is Landlord, who is here for qualifying tonight, making his way out onto the circuit, and obviously will start to prove a real headache for the two Ferrari cars. Both RBs now here and looking to contend for tonight's race victory. But of course, neither Grumio or Landlord in the lead of either championship going into tonight's race. Che, after victory last time, sorry, not victory last time out. Was it victory last time out? It was not. Grumio won last time out, if I remember correctly. That was at Miami. But Che still leading the championship by just 1 point after last week's results. So there is your championship leader emerging out onto the racetrack. And it is very clear, ladies and gentlemen, that we are here for round 2 of the Che versus Grumio championship rivalry. But also with a cameo from the other Ferrari of Daniel Aron, Che's teammate, who still sits 18 points back in the championship, still within title contention early on this season. It's a big gap to the two house cars in 4th and 5th, Imri and Pope. Imri on 55 points, Pope on 44. That's enough for those two to be sitting in 3rd place in the Constructors for Haas. It's 99 points to their name. And Ferrari still showing the way as they emerge. They head to one of their first home races of the season. Obsessed Gamer retiring from the session early on. Of course, he's got a qualifying ban after the incident last time out in Miami mid-race. So we start from the back of the field. 19 cars in the session, so we'll be looking at 4 drivers to be eliminated from Q1. The only driver we're missing is Ethan, who would have been in the. Right, he'd been in the Sauber. It's supposed to be taken by AT, and we're also missing someone else as well. I'll get my notes on that later on. And we'll come now to Dan coming through for his first flying lap. So let's take you on a lap of the circuit from the viewer's perspective of one of the Ferraris. Down towards turn 1 then. Of course, out from the Minerali chicane. No, this is the. I've ruined it already. That was not a good start. I've completely forgotten all of my Tamburello. There we go, that's the one. And now down towards Villeneuve. Slightly tighter braking zone going to the right hand, up towards Toast of the left hand to complete the first sector, 24.1. I can't believe I've already booked in this lap. We'll carry on as we are. And I'm making his way out now towards, midway through the 2nd sector, and towards the slightly faster left hander at turn 9. And down towards up from the rally now, keeping it under control. Heavy braking zone here, going into the right hander, up into immediate slight left, up the hill. A lot of elevation change in this circuit, and now down towards the 2nd sector split, 50.084 for a 2nd sector. Should be seeing the first few cars coming through now. Lando will be the first set time, and then I believe that is Imri out on the racetrack. Into the last 2 corners now, down into the 2 Raptors. Lando 117.9, starting the session off. Imri 114.5, so Imri with a good start. Can Dan perhaps top that? You can't. 114.9. So Imri fastest then in the opening couple of laps this session. Che now fastest, 114.2. The championship leader on top. So leading the early way here for Ferrari, because Ferrari have been the standout force so far this season. RB have had serious challenges to their name. Lando still looking for his first win of the season. EJ goes P4. Imri's teammate for tonight, Pope, dealing with issues with his game prior to the race, so EJ will be taking his place for tonight's race. EJ made his debut back in China a few weeks back. That was 2 weeks ago. So of course, keeping an eye on the reserve drivers, got 2 of them in the race tonight. Yogolu was a reserve, but has since been promoted, so he is now in a full-time race seat over Aston Martin. So James been put down to reserve at his own request, to my mind. So he now joins Flying Duck in that Aston Martin. Ben and McLaren here on his first lap and validated early on. It's not a fantastic start there from the McLaren driver. McLaren sitting in 8th place in the Constructors right now, 10 points to their name. 8 of those points have come from Ben, and Alvar securing the other 2. Both drivers McLaren, the one team with only one driver in the field, so we're missing Alvar for this week. So only 5 cars having set lap time so far. The next one's coming through towards the line. EJ is going to the pit lane, and next car through will be Flying Duck. He's charging towards the line now. Imola retired from the session. I think it looks like he's might be good for Q2 already. Flying Duck 117 dead, 117.084 to be exact. Wait, sorry, I'm getting my facts confused. So Flying Duck is the reserve to my mind. Yes, that is correct. And James has gone back up to the seat, so it's James and Yogalu in the car. Sorry, I'm not on it so far tonight. I mean, luckily we've got an hour or two of racing to come to for me to get my head back into gear again. Curtis in the Alpine there, 24.1 in his first sector. Curtis just outside of the top 10 in the championship, on 16 points from the opening 6 rounds. JB 8 points clear of him in P11 as his teammate, and then Cott tied with JB on 24 points as well. So 8 points off the top 10. The top 10 is still remarkably close behind the top 3. Emery, of course, pulling away from Pope a little bit in the standings. 11 points separating those guys. It's another 6 from Pope back to PJ in P6. It's 5 back to Websy in P7. Another 2 to 10th, and then 1 back to Landlord. So Pope on 44 and then Landlord on 30. That is 5th to 9th, covered by just 14 points. So very close in the early goings of this season. And we'll see if there's any more twists in the tail circuit. There's always been notorious in terms of track limits. That's been the big problem with this circuit in recent seasons. Curtis goes P4 there, solid lap from the Alpine driver. So can't quite top Che. It's still Emery flanking those two, or separating those two Ferraris rather, in the top 3. Grumio out on his first lap here, the reigning champion into the last 2 corners, invalidating there at the penultimate corner of the circuit, and that'll be the end of his first lap. So Grumio then off into the pit lane, and not a fantastic start to the qualifying session. Got plenty of time. He's got 10 minutes to get back on the track and set a lap. Only 8 cars set lap time so far. JB towards the line, 2.1 in second sector. Goes P5, just in there behind his teammate. So good stuff then. Good stuff from Alpine so far. Cott goes second fastest there, 1 minute 14.3. So just up there in front of Emery, separating Che and Emery now. Che now retiring. So Che and Emery are definitely good to get into Q2. Obsessed game obviously already out. So Yogalu then in the Aston Martin. And violating on his first lap. PJ through the last corner here. We'll see what sort of time Salva's got up his sleeve going towards the line. Of course, as I say, without his teammate for tonight's race. Up to P6. So without his full time teammate, he does have an actual teammate in this race in AT, in the reserves. So he's taking over in that Sauber for tonight. And Flying Duck reserving for James. Because that's the Martin, a team that's until recently struggled to get off the line. It was Duck who scored their first 4 points in the standings. Of course, the only team still sitting on 0 points at the stand is Mercedes. Of course, Red J was quite vocal last week about the fortunes of the Silver Arrows so far this season. So hopefully this will be the race to try and turn their fortunes around. Comes towards the line to start his first lap. We'll see what he's got lined up. Down towards Tamburello here, looking for a good start to the lap. And we'll see what about his first sector since Dan retires. So 3 of those top 4 are out of the session. 24.7 for Red J. Solid start. We'll see if he can make any further gains. Romeo just in front of him, back out on the racetrack now. Running a bit wide there, the left-hander. And down towards Aquaman and Raleigh. Curtis across the line and goes P4 once more. Landon's P3. Big gain there for the RB driver. 1 minute 14.4. Curtis slow that, but knocks Curtis down to P5. PJ back in the pit lane. Tim Cannon is 9th minute, 1 minute 15.5. Didn't see her out on the track, but she has also set that first lap. BJ coming up to the last corner to start his next flying run. To improve from at 1:15.7. And where is Reggie? Reggie invalidated. So that'll mark the end of his first run. And we'll see him go again. So he's charged the ERF back up and we'll go for another run. See what he's got. So still went on a fair number of cars at that time. This Webbsy's no longer one of them. He's going to come across the line, 1:15.099. That's enough for P7. So 5 places down on his teammate, but still enough to get him into Q2 as things stand. And Alvar now joining the session, so we've got a full 20 grid of cars. Well, Alvar going out with Gastri's helmet on the car. Landlord retiring, he's P3, so all good for the minute. Really actually yet to set lap times. That's slightly concerning here from the multiple time champion, the 8-time series champ. So now we will be losing 5 cars into this session. There's a bit more pressure on now for the guys touching the bottom of the order. Agrubia goes fastest, and that is a sign to watch out. He's fastest by 0.3 there. First car into the 113s. Fantastic first valid lap on the ball for Grumio. Okay, it's been pulled back in by the Alpine garage. 80 on the racetrack for Sauber here, still looking for his first fully timed lap. 6 cars are yet to set laps. Of course, overall 7, but Obsessed Gamer can't set one, so we're starting last for this race, provided that no one gets disqualified from qualifying or perhaps doesn't set time. Alvar now, who joined us late, is now out on the racetrack. He's only got 5 minutes to set a time though, so the pressure's on. Cott retires, he's up there in P3, all good for the moment. Obsessed into the bottom 5, guaranteeing he is placed out of qualifying. Yoglu starting his next lap, and Alvar could slide to start his 2. But Grumio then, fantastic lap from the champion as he continues on his march. Only needs to just beat Che today in order to reclaim the championship lead for himself. Obviously beat Che and score. Sitting 1 point back in the standings. He's awfully close so far as Curtis calls it quits, retire from the session himself. I imagine we'll see Grumio retiring here as well. So in the top 7, all sorts of qualifying here. Flying Duck P13 right now. He's got the slowest time that's actually been set, 1:17.084. 80 on his lap here, coming towards the last 2 corners. We'll see what he's got in terms of lap time. Coming towards the line. 1:15.9 is an improvement and keeps him, it puts him into the top 15. But of course on a slightly slower end of the spectrum compared to perhaps drivers up towards the top. 7 tenths down on his teammate as of right now. It's his temporary teammate for tonight in PJ. There's a lap there being set by Yoglu. Goes up to P13, pushes his teammate onto the bubble there. Flying Duck still a time to set another lap, and a good thing too, because Alvar's time with the 1:15.6 pushes him down into the bottom 5 now. Ben coming through, set a lap now. So Connie Goblin and Red J still in the pit lane here. 3 minutes to go, so that there is time to get back out there and do a lap. Connie Goblin yet to leave the pits. Red J obviously, as we saw, has been out. Flying Duck is on the keep eye on. He's invalidated here, so he's going to have to go again for another lap. Here goes Red J then emerging from the pit to go for one last run. Of course, with his teammate already out, he's hoping to get himself into Q2 for the Silver Arrows. To my memory, got both cars into Q2 last time out. Ben coming towards the end of the second sector and into the third now. We'll see what his split is. 50.6. So solid time so far. That could place him well within the top 15. We'll lock up, let's see there from Imola in front. PJ retiring. Flying duck going from the back here. 2 minutes to go. Connie Goblin yet to leave the pit lane. I can see Grumio going back out. Doesn't need to go back out. Of course, he's already set in the top time and is guaranteed to go through, but right there towards the line here, starting what could be his final lap. He can set a maximum of 2 here, provided that he makes the finish line before time runs out, which he should do. I would lap around here, we look at about 1:15, 1:16, and there's still just under a minute and a half to go. .23.9 the first sector. That's a good start to the lap. Flying Duck 4 tenths up in his second sector, coming towards the line now. Needs a bit more than that to get himself into Q2 though. And coming up to the line, can he do it? He does improve, but it's not enough. Crashes it! Chucks the car into the wall, and that is Flying Duck session over P16 for him. He's out of qualifying then with 30 seconds to go. Ben going for what will now be his final lap. Red J slowing here. Hasn't got long. Needs to get himself around in time. 20 seconds. Looking a bit low on the RS as well, so that could be a slight concern this final lap. One more chance here for Red J to get himself into Q2. Checking flag about to forward about 7 seconds. Only a few cars on the red track here. And Grumio put it onto the grass. And any idea of a lap he has set is now gone. Checkered flag has fallen. The 2 McLarens yet to cross the line, or one of them has. Alvar's crossed it. Ben can still get himself into Q2 with a good end to this lap. He's up by 3 tenths. This could be enough. Maybe. Time speed 1:15.9. He set 1:16.1 his best end, which is up by a tenth or 2. But it could be enough to just keep maintaining that gap. Last 2 corners. Can Ben get himself into Q2 for McLaren? Try and join his teammate, put both tyre cars into the top 15 towards the line. And they'll do it. P15. AT goes out, but AT's on a lap as well. He's almost half a second up. So this could still be a twist in the tail for Ben, who gets himself into P15. Missing on P14 by about 5 tenths. Sorry, 500th of a second. But AT can still get himself back in the top 15 again. Oh, Red J off the circuit in the background. AT to P12. Ben is out. And Red J off into the gravel. And that's his lap over. So Ben for a second thought he'd done enough. But AT turns around and takes P15 back, knocking Ben out. And joining Ben down in the bottom 5 is Grumio top session from Che and Cott. Landlord in 4th, and Emery rounds it on top 5. And Ben, Flying Duck, Red J, Obsessed, and Cottony Goblin all go out. And ATP12 there moves on to Q2 by about 3 tenths. So very exciting first session here. We've got more of a sense of who will be contending in this qualifying session. And from there we'll move on to Q2 and decide which of these top 15 will be the lucky 10 to move on to the pole position shootout of Q3. So here we go then, time for Q2 to get underway. 15 cars left in qualifying. We'll see which of those 15 will make it into Q3 to fight for pole position. Of course, we saw a number of favourites emerge in the first part of the session. And we'll see now who will be able to pull off that same goodness and take themselves into the last part of the session, Q3. So first few cars getting out onto the racetrack. Weather's been quite overcast over the course of the qualifying so far. I shouldn't think we'll be seeing any rain. I haven't been made aware of any rain. Even for qualifying or the race. So we could be looking at sunny conditions going into the Grand Prix. As the first few cars come to the racetrack being led by Curtis in the Alpine, 10th Cannon following in right behind him. Who's got the speed? No sign of any rain whatsoever. Of course, we'll keep our eyes out. If we do see any sort of rain, we'll look into it. Curtis in control of things here to make his way up towards the start of the last sector to begin his first lap. Of course, Grumio topped the last session with a 1:13.9. Briefly went out in the late stage of the last session, but didn't get to complete a lap. Chase starting his first lap, the championship leader looking to come through and strike a solid performance in Q2 as well. Took second place in the first session. Looking to go well better here. Of course, this being the first of Ferrari's 2 home races this season. The other one being Monza later on in the calendar, but of course this circuit closer to Ferrari's actual home in Maranello. Of course, named after both Enzo and his late son Dino. Smooth lap so far from Che, no real mistakes. 49.4 is his second sector. Slight lock up there going into the chicane. Yellow flag behind, that's his teammate Daniel Aaron backing off. Perhaps making a mistake on his first lap. Curtis goes fast, it's 1:15.2. 80 goes second. Che goes fast, it's 1:14.2. That's the sort of lap we want to see. And Lando jumps in behind him, just 4/10 back in second place, now 1:14.6. Curtis third down. EJ fourth, AT fifth, 10th Cannon sixth. Here's Webbsy into third place, 1:14.9 for the Williams driver. Of course, Williams still in fourth place in the Constructors' Championship. 57 points to their name, the majority of which have been scored by Webbsy, 33 to Cott's 24. So 9 cars have set times early on here. Emery goes third fastest, 1:14.7. Grumio's done his first lap, he's validated his first lap. So obviously have to go again. Yellow flag, that's one of the Alpines in the first sector. That will be JB. We've got through to Q1. Got through to Q2. Relatively quiet Q1, but hopefully we'll be able to make more of an impact here. Look for a Q3 appearance. But backing off early on this lap, so not sure what the plan is. As we can build up and go again. Grumio through Temporello again. Nice and smooth. Fantastic car control all the way around here, down towards that Camino Rally once again, and into the right hand now, keeping it nice and tidy. That was close to track limits there, but hanging on to the car. 49.5, that's around matching Chase second sector. So we'll see what we can unlock in at this last part of the lap to get himself passed back into P1 again. 11 cars in set times. Number 12 about to come through and set his first attempt. Been waiting on Kot, Yoglu and Alvar, two of whom have not left the pits. Grimmy goes second fastest, 114.3. Obviously on slightly worn, slightly older slightly more worn soft tyres, there we go. Compared to Che, of course, set those on his first attempt. Kot coming through, start his first lap now. Of course, Kot already taken pole this season back in Japan. .7, solid first sector from Kot. Alvar now at the racetrack. Yoglu the last car to emerge from the pit lane in this session. Yellow flag being held for Grumio going slowly here in the second sector. Posing no risk, no one's around him. Williams coming up right behind him there, so I'll send him out the way. There goes Kot. Obviously, we know Kot can give Grumio a run for his money in qualifying, but Kot's invalidated, so that's go again. So Kot then going for one more lap. We're waiting now for the next few cars to come back out onto the racetrack. JB P5 right now. Alpine doing a fantastic job so far in qualifying. Both P5 and P8, both cars on course to get through to Q3 right now. But 7 minutes to go, so that could easily change. EJ coming in behind JB though, so that's him out of the way. On his first lap now towards the last two corners and looking for the line. And we've got Red J in here for a brief interview. We'll come to him once Alvar crosses the line. Alvar coming towards the stripe now. See where his first time stacks up. 115.3, that's enough for a top 10 place at the moment. Red J, thanks for joining us mid-qualifying. Talk to us, Q1.
Though in going into this race, I just couldn't get any consistent lap, unfortunately, which isn't great. I think I had 4 laps in total, and just couldn't keep it within the white lines on each attempt. I think my penultimate lap, I think, had I not made the error at the chicane, I probably would have got into Q2. I think because I was on a really good lap. But yeah, it's obviously frustrating. It means that me and Obsessed are quite far back. But I think one thing has definitely been shown so far, we've seen it in the chat in the build-up to the race, is a lot of people are struggling with the track limits. And so I think me and Obsessed have just got to hope for a crazy race, which I think's on the cards. And yeah, and hopefully we can score some points. But I have to say, fair play to AT. You know, he's got very limited experience back within this game, and he's gone and put himself into Q2. He's currently 12th at the moment. He's doing a really, really good job. And then, you know, you got the RBs, which looks to be back onto form. Landlord finally joining us in qualifying, which is good to see. But it is Imri who is the pace setter. And wow, wouldn't it be good to see him get himself a pole position?
Definitely. Well, I obviously have to wait and see going into Q3. But in terms of track limits, is there any sort of danger points we're looking at? If you had to highlight like a few places on the circuit in particular?
Yeah, I could probably name to you at least about 5 or 6 places. I think for me, my main concern is the penultimate chicane, the final chicane. I can't remember what the name of it's called. Is it Ravazza or is it?
I believe Ravazza's the last 2 corners. 2 Ravazzas, yeah.
I can't remember what it's called. Is it Aqua Minerale? I think it is. I think it's Aqua Minerale. Is the final chicane. Struggling there massively. It really could come down to how this race is decided for a lot of different positions based on the amount of penalty points. It could even come down to deciding the victory as well, so it'll be really interesting. I don't know what the weather's supposed to be like for the race because it didn't have a look, but I'm looking forward to this one. I love Imola. It should be a fun race. It's good to have pretty much all of the grid there as well. And I think we've got a really good battle on there as well for qualifying. Even JB and Websy looking pretty competitive as well. So I think we're going to have a good fight on for pole, and I think Imri will take it.
We'll have to wait and see if your former teammate can pull that one off. Well, thanks for coming and chatting to us, Reg. Perhaps we'll see you again after the race, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, there was Reg then. Unfortunately eliminated from Q1 in the last session, but of course still looking optimistic in terms of points in the race for either him or Obsessed. The Simsay's car, as I say, still scoreless in Season 18, but any day could be the day. And perhaps a race like this in which they're relying on track limits, well, perhaps not leaning on the track limits as much, but on a day where perhaps, as you said, it could be decided by how many penalties one has, then you never really know. Kurtz goes P4 there, and JB also with a cracking lap while we're talking to Red J. P7 for him, and Imri fast at the moment. Dan's just gone second, so the faster times all starting to appear now on the fresher tyres. So Dan there. Right now the top 10 consisting of Imri, Dan, Che, Cop, Grumio, Curtis, Landlord, JB, Websy and EJ. So PJ, Alvar, AT, 10th Cannon and Yoglu all out right now. Yoglu coming through, set his first valid lap. He can nail the last corner. Yes, he can. We'll see what his first lap time looks like. 1:15 here, 1:15.4. It's enough for P13. He needs another 3/10 improvement. But he hasn't got enough time to bolt on another set of soft tyres. So this could be the end of his session here. Che retiring. That's 3 drivers retired. George, Imri, Che and Grumio all out. Down to pits then. Likely qualifying is over. Number of cars on outlaps here. There's guys towards the latter half of the top 10. Perhaps looking to make sure they can secure their place in Q3. Alvar's in P12 right now. He's on an outlap. PJ is on a time lap. He's come towards the line here but didn't improve. AT invalidating here on his first lap on those tyres. 10th Cannon P15 right now. A lot of work for her to do in this final run. Into the pit lane there, that'll put her out to qualify. AT, Alvar and PJ, the 3 cars with a chance to get out of Q2. PJ almost a quarter of a second up in his first sector. PJ then looking perhaps for a late run into Q3. Checker flag has now fallen, but a number of cars still out on the racetrack here. PJ, the first one of those cars to come through. Both Albers looking to get into Q3. Towards the line. PJ improves to P9. Oh, around goes to Alvar. Off the circuit, the Villeneuve chicane, and that'll mark his qualifying over with. Alvar is out. Lando retiring to P7. AT invalidates. His lap is over. P14 for him. So EJ then, who is 3/10 up, going out of sector 2. The only car who can get himself into Q3 from here. And that could be at the expense of Websy, who's also on a lap himself. Couldn't see Websy start second sector split. So it could be we end up losing PJ after all. EJ towards the line, goes P7. That'll put PJ on the drop line. There comes Websy up by 3/10 in his last sector. PJ's out. Websy improves to P5. Good qualifying from the Williams cars. And that was waiting down Alvar to come to the line. And that will mark the end of qualifying. Alvar on the pit lane then, and that's game over then. If we've been qualifying along with himself, PJ, Yovalu, AT, and 10th Cannon all out. Imri, Dan, Che, Cott, Websy, Grimio, Curtis, EJ, Landlord, and JB. Those are the cars we'll get through into Q3. JB beating PJ by just over half a hundredth of a second. Just over half a tenth of a second, sorry. But very close qualifying, and that could be as close as it gets going into the last part of the session. Imri beating Dan for P1 by exactly a tenth. There is the times. Imri on top by a tenth. It's Che in third, Cott fourth, and Websy only on top 5. RB is slipping a bit in Q2. I'm sure they're looking to push back in the last session of the evening for going to the Grand Prix. So expect to see those guys fighting for pole. And again, PJ, Alvar, Yovalu, AT, and Ted Cannon all eliminated. Time then for Q3. Time to decide who will take pole position for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix round 7 of the season. And it could be anyone in this top 10. In terms of teams who got their cars through, there is 4 teams who... Sorry, I think for the first time actually have 5 teams who got both their cars into Q3. So both Williams cars are in Curtis... in Cott and Websy. Both Alpines are in Curtis and JB. Both RBs in Grumio and Lando. Both Haas cars in EJ and Imri, and then both Ferraris in Che and Dan. And I think since we've done full qualifying, that is a first to have 5 teams who've just got both their cars in. Simple as that. Because normally we get at least one team that have got just the one car in, but not to be today. It's those 5 teams, and those are also the 5 teams occupy the top 5 places in the Constructors' Championship, and also occupying here 7 of the 10 spaces in the top 10 in the Drivers' Championship too. The only outliers there being Sauber's PJ, Red Bull's 10th Cannon, and that is it to my mind. Yes, I am incorrect. So just those 2, so 8 places in the championship. And from there, those places then go down to the top 12, which is where sits JB in P11 and Curtis P12. But for now, enough about statistics. We'll carry on with our qualifying coverage here. Grumio, the first car to come round. Che emerging from the pit lane, emerging a bit late there. Didn't go with the initial pack, but Grumio leads that initial pack round. And we'll see what sort of times they can stack up. Grumio, of course, the fastest time so far this session with a 1:13.9 in the first round of qualifying. We'll see if we can pull out the same thing on this last round. Grumio validates his first lap there, so struggle there for the reigning champion. But his teammates out on the racetrack too. Lando is there. Going towards Vienna, but a bit further back in the train. That train now being led by Koch, who's on that lap, so the train now actually being led by the Haas of Imri, who's also validated. So, not good first laps for a number of solid contenders for pole position. So we'll see here who comes through the first time on the session. And it could be Daniel Aaron. Koch starting his first lap now. Grumio up to the line, to the pit lane though. Imri crossing start his next lap. And Curtis the first car for 1:14.4. Followed by the Ferraris. Dan go fastest 1:14.3. And Che on his first lap now. 23.7 in his first sector. Of course, looking to hold on to his championship lead today, which still sits at just that 1 point. A race Wednesday can open up that gap at minimum to 7 points. Sorry, excuse me, to 8 points and 9 with the fastest lap, should he take it and win the race. So both RBs in the pit lane there, neither one of them setting a valid lap time. So not a good start for the Constructors' Championship winning pairing from last season. Che invalidating this time, so going again. JB 24.2 in his first sector, Imri 49.2 in his second. We'll see if Imri's got what it takes to take pole position here. Looking for provisional poles, trying to snatch it off of Dan. Curtis only a set lap time so far. Koch going fastest, so 1 minute 14.1. Imri toward the line. 1:13.934. So it's 34 thousandths off of Grumio's top time from Q1. So Imri is there and well and truly on the pace. Looking for his, what I believe is his first pole of the season. Of course, 4th in the championship, but hasn't that thing go his way so far? Grumio back on the racetrack there. Che still on the circuit. 24.9 his first sector. Invalidation there, and Aquaminerali causing problems. So let's see if he can go again when he heads to the pits. Not long left, so he's going to look and set a quick time. Gets back on the circuit. A P10 star would not do any good. EJ making it so back onto the racetrack. His reserve team is temporary teammate for tonight is on pole. Provisional pole with 6 minutes to go. Can EJ match that? The only reserve to make Q3 of the two in the race tonight. AT of course dropped down in Q2. Grumio starting his next lap. Landlock comes to the 2 reverters now to complete his outlap and go on to his next run. And this will start to see the pace from the 2 RB cars. EJ slow there, letting Grumio go. Into the second sector now for the reigning champion. Can he do anything to try and tackle Imri? A good lap so far. Bit of a slide there. 49.0 there. This is one of the fast times we've seen today. This could be, it's going to be 1:13 if he can maintain this pace. Surely he can't set a 1:12, can he? I wouldn't think so, but you never know with Grumio sometimes. Into the last few corners now. Looking to complete this lap. Just keep it valid. He will keep it valid, and towards the line, this could be pole position. And he's nailed it. 1:13.7. So provisional pole then goes to Grumio with 4.5 minutes to go. And Landlord for the last corner, 49.1. 1:14.2 for Landlord. So RB now first and fourth. And they're looking to have the best with their colleagues over at Ferrari, who are in P5 and P10, scratching their heads. Imola gets it to go out again. What could be his final run. EJ's teammates down the circuit here. 50.1 is second to split. Towards the line here. Can he put himself in the top 5? He cannot. P9 for him. 1:15.028. The only car on that lap right now. But I see one of the Alpines emerging from the pit lane. I'll get a sense of who that is in just a moment. There's JB who's out on the racetrack. It's under 3 minutes to go, and everyone looking to be the last car to come through and put their lap time in. Backing off here. Perhaps not satisfied with the start of his lap. 25.7 his first sector. Let's go again. JB shortly coming through to start his next lap. And Cott on the circuit now. Being joined by Curtis. Curtis P6 in a minute. So those two Ferraris making their way out. One behind the other here. Che second in the train. Can we see such a being played? No, Dan backing off and Che going around him. JB starting what could be his final lap potentially. With the slide with Tamburello. Car under control though. Everyone except for EJ on the racetrack right now. EJ's done. Can't set another lap time from here. Grumio now looking to try and improve. Imri on his next run. And this chance will be his final lap. Didn't find any time there. Being on lap hold softs may not help his case. One of the Alpines in front of him. Sorry, no, it's one of the Williams cars. I think that'll be Webster backing off. Cott starting his last lap now. Both Ferraris coming in one behind the other. This could be a team play from the Scuderias trying to get one of their cars on pole. EJ retiring. Imri is up, but only by 3/300ths in the last sector, in the second sector. He's invalidated there. And that'll do it for him. He's qualifying. Be P2 at best for him. Grumio knows he is safe on pole in terms of Imri's challenge. And Cott's invalidated too. Landlord towards the line. And he'll start his final lap in time. How's Ferrari doing? Dan is a 10th up. Shane, this is his first effort. Both cars set in 23.7s here. Imola retiring. Checkered flag has now fallen. Next car through to the line will be Cox, pit lane, and these two Ferraris. What they got? 49.2 for Che, 49.2 for Dan. Gonna need a bit more than this in the last sector. JB retiring. P8 for the Alpine driver. There's 2 corners to go. What can Ferrari do? Can they nab pole position at all? It's going to be close. Che first through towards the line. P4 and P2 down second, pushing him off the front row. Grumio invalidating, and that should be all she wrote. Lando has no say in the matter. Coming towards the line, can he improve on his placing at all? P5 splits himself in over Cot. And Webbsy, the last car, to come towards the line to cap off the end of qualifying by just 4 hundredths. It's Grumio on pole over Dan and Imri in the top 3. So those are your cars that will lead the pack to Tamburello. Let's have a look at the rest of the top 10 here. Shane 4th, Alado 5th. It's Cot, Webbsy, Curtis, JB and EJ rounding them out. So that's your top 10. We're back in a few minutes' time to start the race. So here we go then. Time for all to be down the line for this third race. I'm just going on to round 7. How have I put the numbers that poorly? Round 7 of season 18 of the Races Driving League for the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. The race underway. There is the circuit. There the Ostromo Enzo E Dino Ferrari, otherwise known as Imola to the rest of us, and of course very technical circuit there. Touch Pope, the defending winner of this race, 32 laps all the way around. Pope not with us this week, unfortunately dealing with issues with his game. So EJ in his place, who has managed to make Q3. So fantastic stuff for the reserve driver. Of course, made his debut a few weeks ago in China. And we'll see here who's got the speed to lead today's race. And of course, track limits will be a crucial problem over the course of this Grand Prix. We'll see who can deal with those the best. And that could be the deciding factor on who wins this race today. But we are now seconds away from the formation lap. We'll get underway as Grumio and Dan will lead the field to turn 1.
The formation lap gets underway and every driver will be looking to settle in for the race ahead, making sure that their car is ready for the battle once the lights go out.
So medium tyres for the majority of starters here, except for Red J and Cotton Golden. Both of those guys on the hards for the opening stint, so it's a bit longer into the Grand Prix.
As the cars come back towards the grid to line up for the start of the race, each driver will be wanting to get the best start they possibly can. And they'll be hoping to finish today's race on the podium, and failing that, within the points.
So Grumio then leads Dan towards the opening 2 starting spots on the grid. Imri there in 3rd. It's Che, the championship leader, in 4th. 1 point separating Grumio from Che in the standings. If either one of those two wins this race today, they'll emerge from this Grand Prix of the Championship League, going to the 100% race in Monaco next week. The last two cars taking their spots on the grid. Obsessed and Courtney Goblin, the two cars occupying the back row. And here come the lights for 32 laps here at Imola for round 7 of the championship. Lights out, foot to the floor. We are underway. Good start from Grimio. They're jumping in front of Dan on the run down towards Tamburello for the first time. Goes side by side. There goes Dan making moves. Imri passing, going around Che. Up towards that first corner. Grimio clearing to the lead. Dan holding on to second place. Che and Imri side by side. Everyone getting through nice and clean here. The opening encounters. Grimio leads away. Yellow flag behind us. Not sure who that's for. That is for Regge's going around. Regge and Flying Duck come together. Both cars recovering it, but a bad start. Has Reggie got damage? Not too sure. He may have picked up a bit of his on his end plate. Looks to be all okay. Duck in the grass there, turning the car around. End plate missing on Aston Martin, so not a good getaway then from Flying Duck. Has got a lot of work to do in this Grand Prix from here, but Grimio leads over Dan, Imri, Che and Land into the top 5. Websy then caught by falling behind. The two Alpine cars of Curtis and JB P8 and P9, and EJ net with the last point in the order as it stands, but of course reserves won't score, so you'll be probably credited with the point come the checkered flag. Should things stay how they are. PJ close to Alvar, they're looking to try and take P11 away as they go into the Raptors for the first time. So far a clean lap, just the one DRS zone on this circuit. And now we come into play in a lap's time. But Grimio leads the first lap of the race now. Here comes Dan, closing in towards Tamburello for the second time. Will he go for moves to the chicane? I think he'll think better of it and stay where he is for the minute. Obsessed game may have picked up damage on the collision in the opening lap. He's coming in to make a wing change from what I can see here. And a change onto hard tyres to go to the end. Wing change is on and he is away. So he'll emerge likely behind Flying Duck. So not going to start from Mercedes here. A lot of work to do with him in this race, but Grimio still leads the way. In terms of position change in this first lap, the driver is getting most being Courtney Goblins up 4th from his spot in dead last. And AT and Flying Duck have lost the most, sorry, both from 3 places down. Yellow flag, Reggie from the gravel at Villeneuve. And the start phase of this Grand Prix gets worse and worse for Mercedes here. Leaves him in quite a hole here. Flying Duck in the pit lane, I think also making a wing change to get rid of that end plate. I'll try and get the end plate back on the car. And here we go now, DRS into play for the first time in this Grand Prix. And the train will well and truly begin as they run through the two Raptors. Grimio needs as good an exit as he can possibly get in order to stand the best chance against Dan down the main straight. Both cars with a fair amount of DRS. Imri's burned about half of his already, trying to keep up with these guys. As has Che, but Che with the fastest lap, so clearly those two doing something right. Dan making a move here, looking to the inside, trying to take the lead away from Grimio. He's close to contact, but Grimio backs out of it, goes back to the inside for a second. Imri looking to try and challenge, but Dan takes the lead. Imri slight loss of control there, going through Tamburello, but he keeps it on the wraps and will maintain P3 for now. And you think now, will he go to make a move on Grimio? Yellow flag looks to be at Alvar, and the McLaren is slow. Courtney Goldman makes the pass going into Villeneuve. Then by the time now, it's a problem for the other McLaren, who sits in P11 right now. Almost 2 seconds back from EJ. He's currently chasing down JB for 9th. Imri is right on the tail of Grimio. They always wonder if he'll go for a move down the main straight when we get back to turn 1. That'll be provided that Grimio can't go for it first. But down here, looking to try and bolt, looking to try and pull away. He's used a fair chunk of his ERS to try and maintain or try and create some sort of advantage over the reigning champion. Trying to get himself out of that DRS window. But they've hit the section line now, so Grimio will have DRS down the main straight, but so will Imri. And Che will have it too, so Che looks to try and get himself on the podium. Bit of a lock up there from the Ferrari. The championship leader, a bit of tyre smoke from the car going into the last 2 corners. Top 7, all the big train here. That train being broken by Curtis in P8, almost 2 seconds back from Cott. Closing the time, closing like that all the time. Into the first corner though, won't get close enough, so maintain P2 for now. Dan holds on to the lead. And he knows at this point he can keep about a 7/10 advantage or so on each lap. That should allow him to hold on to the top spot for now. Just going slightly wide there, Flying is still in dead last. 32 seconds back from the first gamer, and actually a bit on the verge of being lapped by the leaders. Grimio keeping himself close to Dan here. They'll make their way through the left-hander. Che's slipping back a little bit here. He's down 6/10 to Imri. Flying duck, 3-second time penalty. That's the second one they hand out so far tonight. Landlord dropping back a little bit too here. Will slide out the chicane. It's close, but if we just keep DRS. He's got both Williams cars breathing down his neck, which could make a slipstream a bit more trouble. Down the last corner has considerably less an advantage here this time compared to last. Flying duck in the pit lane here, will go a lap down. A few laps in this thing. And Flying duck out the race. Top three keeping nice and close together here. As it stands right now, Grumio leads the championship. He'll take that lead by 5 points over Che. Of course, Ferrari maintained the lead in the constructors by quite a distance. There were 59 points here going into this thing, and right now are outscoring their opponents over at RB. Of course, the two Italian teams on the grid, 1-2 in the championship, and now dueling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all positions here. Rather, ignore Imola in the middle there. In terms of Italian teams, of course, Haas obviously American. Speaking of Imola, slightly under pressure there from Che, coming out the chicane. I thought it was thinking about might try and go for a move, but down the main straight, this could be an opportunity to make an attack. Imola is trying to stay close here. 3 cars with track limit penalties already. Now, can Grumio close back in? A lot closer this time. Dan using a fair bit of his battery and was trying to keep these guys at bay. It's doing just that for now. There goes Imola to the outside of Grumio, almost going through after the lead there. Grumio retakes the lead. Imola on the inside of Dan at the first corner, close to contact, but Dan maintains P2 just, and Che might try and get involved on Imola now. Down the inside, going towards Villeneuve. He's there. Looking for that place on the rostrum. He's got to go around the outside, so close to contact there. EJ of the circuit, further back. What's happened to him? Off onto the grass. Hangs onto almost hangs onto the car. His tyre's a bit too burned up. But Che clearing Imola now just. Slight bit of argy-bargy, a bit more than might be expected, but that's allowed Dan and Grumio to open a lead here. Because Dan, as he's been saying since the season started, yet to win in the RDL, I think, and given the form of the first 6 races, I think in this season should definitely be a season to win at least one. Caught with a penalty there for multiple warnings. So JB's got to hit with on too. As Yoglu gets one. 6 of the 19 cars still running, now having a penalty to their names. Now looking trying to lead back down the main straight. Looking for a good run here, going to the inside of the racetrack towards turn 1, into the braking zone. And Grumio tries to collect him out of it. So Dan out braking Grumio, but trying to get the champ to get a better exit here to perhaps make a run going towards Villeneuve. He won't go for it, he's staying in line. And in that, Che is now right on the tail. And perhaps looking to try and take P2 away. Can they make this a 1-2 for Ferrari? Obviously not sure if Ferrari have won in the RDL before, not in my memory. Alvar jumping to the back of the field here, or down to P17 rather. Super Mercedes car bring up the rear P18, P19 right now. Reggie, the officer made the correct observation in terms of track limits, and now we've had that proven so far. And, you know, right on the tail of Dan as they run towards the chicane. Look further back in the field here, see what else is going on. Curtis in a bit of no man's land by himself now. His teammate JB holding back that train behind him. PJ then 10th Cannon just outside of the points paying place, but 10th doing a good job right now, no penalties to her name, that's what she needs. Back towards turn 1 again. Grumio looks to reclaim the lead, but Che might go for it 3 wide this time. And as Grumio dispatches one Ferrari, the other one dispatches him. Che makes a double whammy and takes the lead on the inside. Move the championship leader into P1 in the race. Fantastic stuff. Crucially, no one in that lead pack except Bacot with a time check limit penalty yet. Ben getting, I believe, his second penalty in the race. He's on 6 seconds now. Yes, that's correct. I'm on 18 notice here right now, out of Tamburello and towards Verna. 18 pulling back into line, as they go towards Tosa. Can't quite do it, stays where he is for the moment. JB 3 seconds, multiple warnings. This is second penalty of this race. PJ gets another one too. So this guy's struggling here. 9 penalties handed out this race so far. 10 if you include flying ducks for a second. There's Grimio passing Che. Dan pulls the inside, ducks out from behind the RB. Close to contact. There was contact between Che and Grimio. Those two come together. Starts up again there. Amy's got a front row seat for this. Ooh. And the order as it was now restored. Che on the outside of Grimio here through Tosa. Side by side on corner exit. Can't quite do it. This top 7 continue to excite. Second train back here being led by JB, but it's been a bit spread out a bit further compared to the cars up front. So you're getting nearer and nearer to the perhaps the first pit stop for this race. Probably about halfway, if I had to guess, about halfway from the first in. It's going fantastic in their tyres. Side by side some PJ and 10th Camo looking for an opportunity here. Going towards turn 1, a bit wide from the last corner. Can 10th try and take advantage. Dan maintains his lead going to turn 1. 10th and PJ both opposing on JB here. This could be a change for P9. PJ around the outside, side by side going towards that first corner. PJ out brakes. Can 10th get in there too? Not quite. JB shuts the door. Nick and Jogaloo trying to take advantage of 10th as well. Can't quite take that place. PJ a bit wide there. JB to the inside. Making that move underneath and looking for it. Can't quite do it. And PJ maintains his place. But it's still side by side. JB on the inside for the left-hander. Around the outside there, Thaka Minerali. Who comes out with this one on top? What a scrap. JB maintains his place for now. And that went on for almost the entire lap. What a fight that was. So, oh, JB going very wide there. And PJ now pulling alongside. The fight not over yet. I think we'll see Grimio make the change for the lead towards turn 1. He'll take the lead back on the lap 11. Contact. We're at a start, or rather a bit of a slide there from PJ. And there goes JB going wide too. Can take advantage of both these two cars. Just clear JB. Can she clear PJ as well? This train's been brought right back together again. And 10th now sits in P9. Will JB come back at PJ towards that first corner? What a scrap this is. Yellow flag. And that is Curtis who's gone for the circuit. And it's a good thing that these guys didn't get on the scene any later. Curtis in P8 now, no longer by himself, and now contending with 10th Cannon. He pulls to the outside. Now she opened the door up there for PJ to go for a move. The slide from Curtis, slight contact. PJ wants to look to go 3 wide with these guys. Curtis will hold on to the place. PJ at the inside of 10th now. Good awareness from these guys to keep from making contact. 10th wins the initial fight, but when Curtis into the picture, she can't get around him. That entire scrap lasted for almost 2 laps. In that, these guys are now 15 seconds back from the lead pack. There's Grimio making a change to lead off of Che. Dan closing, aiming to take second place from his teammate. Stays in line, can't do it. Down the main straight for these guys. Curtis breaking the toe there. Good thinking. And 10th finding it considerably more difficult to close in. But PJ may close first. They're pulled to the outside. Ben in the pit lane here, making his first stop of this Grand Prix. So again, towards that point where the window is opening. Wing change. That may be why we saw him go wide a moment ago. He's away there, no issue. So we're in the leads once again. Webb's into the pit lane then, so first of the top 7 to go to the pits. And see the anyone else from this train is willing to bite the bullet and go for it. Both Alpines in this train, obviously can't pit on the same lap. They're all staying out for now. Oh no, scrap that, in comes Joggaloo. So one car from each pack making their way into the pit lane here. I'll probably begin the pit cycle here. Top 6 now split up a little bit. Haswell's made the right call in being the first car to pit. So that's how to do it. And the question is, will this trigger the cars around in that pack to also go for it? Romeo and Che with a slight advantage over Dan. About 8 or 9 tenths. Penalty. In comes Che. Emery will join in, but everyone else in that train staying out. The RB both keeping it on the racetrack. We'll see in terms of tyres here. I imagine we'll probably see hard tyres on both cars. Simple one stop to get to the end. No, another set of mediums for Che. What's the plan there? Emery's in hard tyres for Emery. So what is the game plan for Che and Ferrari? EJ 10 seconds to speed in the pit lane. So crucial penalty could really go against him in this race. And on goes a fresh wing too. We have to wait there for McLaren Alars to go too. Obsessed and Red J now one behind the other, making moves. Got to P13, P12 now. Oh, Red J off into the gravel. No, that was a off glitch. I'm hoping that's not me because I run on disconnect this thing. Now, any of the top 4 coming in. Both RB still staying out, but Dan coming in. So what is Che's plan here? He's looking to push on this set in order to get himself out in front of the race leaders. Number of cars in that second pack all pitting in. Where does Che emerge? He emerges in front of his teammate Just. It's perhaps not much as an advantage as you might have hoped for, but an advantage nonetheless. So Grimmy then, will we see that gets top of the halfway stage? No, they're all staying out. Yellow flag, second sector, that's one of the Alpines, that's JB's gone around. Recovers it, no issue, but emerges right there in front of 2 McLarens. Bends the right side of JV on the right towards the left-hander. It appears that Reggie is lagging heavily at this stage of the Grand Prix. You can sort of see it, you can see it a fair bit here. I'm being told he's being asked by the stewards to retire from the Grand Prix thanks to the lag, so I think whether he'll bring him to the pit lane here. No, he's staying out. Perhaps he hasn't received the message yet. There goes Yoglu going for a move, taking P10 away. Reggie falls back outside of the points. You can really see it there. Reggie 3 seconds for track limits. And Landlord finally coming into the pit lane, and Cott joins him. Grumio just past the halfway point now, staying out for another lap. EJ giving a penalty for him. 9 cars have got penalties in this race right now. I think things have worked in favour of Che here. Obviously on those medium tyres. However, obviously still has to pit onto another set. He needs to use at least 2 different tyre compounds when it's a dry race. And that there should move Dan into the lead. But Dan with penalties, that'll move Imri into P1 potentially. Oh, car off there. Cuts off into the gravel. Into the gravel, off to the grass rather. Going towards turn 1. I'm not sure what could have caused that. Managed lost control. Yellow flag. One of the McLaren's going slow there. I believe that was Ivar, I could be wrong. So I'm going for a run to the gravel here. We're in the pit lane now. He's made a change on the hard tyres, going to get in on these. Imri the fastest lap. And these guys will emerge with a bit of an advantage over Grumio here. Perhaps going slightly longer might be his downfall. Grumio's down to P5 now. About 5 seconds back from Imri in P3. Might go try and go for P2 here. Che needs to stop again, but Dan is now in a race lead. Both of the cars have 3 seconds, and Grumio with no penalties to his name right now. So that's what's helping him stay in this thing. And Landlord also no penalties. Che, again, nothing to his name, but will need to stop again. And the question is when? Do we see him perhaps going to set a soft tyres to the end, try and run a clean, no penalty race and see where it stacks up? Imri's going for moves though. Imri trying the outside, going towards the chicane. Che shuts the door. Perhaps Imri trying to force Che to a mistake of some kind, like such as a track limit violation. Landon's got a penalty as his first of the day. 5 cars left in this race without penalties. We're on lap 18. Dan is pulling away. Imri pressurising Che is helping to build quite an advantage. Caught with the fastest lap, he's got pace. And there's Grumio on Websy, so Grumio's P4 now. No penalties for him as of right now. Che right there behind him, looking for a move of some kind, can't do it for the minute. As of right now, in P1. Grumio right now in range to take P2. Well, he's going to take at least a place off Imri, but not a place off Dan right now. He needs to close in a bit more. But he's ahead of this train and needs to lose Webbsy and Cott, and his teammate if he can. But Lionel falling away from Cott at this point. Almost a second out of DRS range. Ridgek's still lagging there. He's staying out there, so potentially we could be looking at a set of soft tyres, gets the flag on. Grumio fastest lap on those hards. Cott passing Webbsy towards turn 1. He's going to P5. He's got 6 seconds to his lane compared to Webbsy's 3. Lamel's also on 3. So only Curtis, AT, 10th, Grumio and Che without penalties. 10th and P9 right now. And that will help her massively at this stage of the race. At this stage, most likely win out over Yogalu for that place. Yogalu can't score, but sure 10th would like to hit the place regardless. She's in P8 now, and get to work on perhaps trying to close in on the top 7. Dan and 2.3 seconds in front right now. Until lap 21, 12 laps to go here at Imola. Che passing Imri towards turn 1. The more these two fight, the more chances Grumio will close in. This is Gamer falling back here. A bit wide there through the exit. Akamila Riley where it slid off. Ridge over the time penalty. Right, they're pulling into pit lane here. This could be Reso for him. Good from requesting to retire for a few laps here. Yellow flag. And that's Che. Che's probably gone off the circuit, going towards Akamila Riley, and all of a sudden he's down the order. And that could be hugely costly for not just his race, but for the championship lead too. Because we know he's got to stop again. And he'd need a safety car or something to get himself back up front. Landau fastest lap, so his RB is still dangerously quick. Grumio making the pass on Imri now. And he's just outside that 3-second range, now pushing into it. Dan, but needs Grumio to get a penalty of his own in order to have a chance to win this race. Of course, the two Ferraris put Grumio under constant pressure last week in Miami. This time it's time for Grumio to put pressure on Dan for the race lead. Well, technically already leading the race. Of course, we all know the nature of Grumio by this point. Wants the race win. 8-time champion, won over 100 times in this league. The record champion, record win holder. But Dan wants this race win. And what better place to get that first race win in RDL, a league that stayed consistently competitive over the last few seasons especially, would be to win, take your first win at Imola in a Ferrari. Grumio fastest lap 1:15.6. Imri good podium wise. Cott 9 seconds to his name. And we could let him go. But Cott would need to then gain a 6-second lead over Imri in order to actually have hold of that place. And there it is, Grumio with the penalty. And all of a sudden down under a bit less pressure. But knows he can't get another one of his own, because then they start the same position again. So everyone in the top 6 with time penalties. Che, the highest range driver with that one. There's only 3 drivers who haven't got one in this race. But Che will need to stop. Because he'll emerge presumably around P8, P9, maybe even P10. Look at the lead that this top 6 have brought out. From you looking on the afterburners here to try and hunt down Dan. Now he knows he's got to. He can't rely on Dan getting another penalty, but Dan's got the pace in this race so far. He's been fantastic. Started second, held the lead, went back and forth with Grimio in the opening encounters. That holds it outright. Caught another penalty, Emery back into 3rd place. Landon just behind these guys. Now that everyone has penalties, Emery knows if he keeps things as they are, and can just get to the line without getting another penalty or not losing out to Landon, he knows he'll finish in at least the top 4. He's fighting Landon for that last podium place. If he gets a penalty, all of a sudden he'll be relying on one of the guys ahead of him to get another. 1.6 seconds to gap now. Let's look further back, see what's going on. EJ and JB going side by side towards turn 1. EJ wins out on this occasion with the help of the DRS. Going towards Tamburello. Of course, 2 reserves in the top 10 right now, which means JB and Alvar will score the points. I keep saying Yoglu's reserve, he's not reserve. EJ and AT are reserves. So just the 1 reserve, so JB would have the last point as it stands. However, thanks to Yoglu's penalties, he's got 15 seconds. JB may also still have P9, so you never know. Alvar will go into the top 10 too, should that happen. Then right behind him, AT with no penalties to his name. He's doing a good job here. I imagine he may actually have a place or 2. Not enough for points, but we could be looking at P11, P12 potentially. Cott passing Emery, going towards turn 1. Lap 25 here. Dan closing up on Red J and Curtis. Need these 2 out of the way fast, in order to ensure that Grimio doesn't close in. We've been closing the gap throughout. It's down to 1.2 seconds now. Grimio almost in DRS range here. Both cars are just on a halfway back to your left. Caught in 3rd, Emery 4th. And the car needs to beat for that podium place, Landon in 5th. Both lap cars making their way through. Yellow flag. Who was that? Sorry, no. Sorry, I thought I saw someone spin across the camera, but apparently not. That was just the lap cars moving out of the way. No concern then, but Grimio now right up behind Dan and in DRS range. Emery passing Cott. And Landon getting through as well. Landon and Emery now fighting for that podium place. And Dan needs to rely on Grimio getting another penalty. Or just needs to surely beat him in a DRS battle. Which we know he can do. Che up to P8 here. He's made his 2nd stop onto a set of soft tyres. It's going to be going full blast here to catch up as much as he can and try and benefit from penalty 2 for the checkered flag. But I think we know by this point that Che will be losing the championship lead after this race unless he can catch all the way up to Grimio in just a few laps. Of course, a late safety car could change the game completely. Perhaps force him onto soft tyres and run onto the finish that way. But as of right now, it's been quite a clean race, save for the instance on the opening lap. Over at Tamburello, of course, saw a flying duck retire. 6 laps. All stands between Dan and his first RDL victory, but Grimio, of all the drivers you don't want behind you, I think this one tops the list. Landon and Emery going side by side. Cott trying to make his way through as well. Emery falling back to 5th place now. He'll be 4th at the flag. Looking for that podium off of Landon again. Or hoping that Landon takes a penalty of some kind. There's 2 cars in this race with no penalties. Chainer has one of his own. He's got the fastest lap to boot himself. It's 1 point in second for Grumio. Only 10th and AT. Completing this race right now with no track limit penalties. Which is more than impressive in itself. Especially given that 10th at this rate will score points. Oh! Websy off into the gravel. I think there was contact with one of the Mercedes cars. Contact with Obsessed Gamer. And those two may have come together potentially as Obsessed trying to let Websy go through the blue flags. Grumio just half a second back now. On to lap 28, 5 laps to go. Grumio closing in though. Going to pull to the outside. Can he clear down at the first corner? I think he will be able to. Dan pulls back into line. And the game of DRS chicken for the race victory begins. Of course, Grumio's hard tyres 3 laps younger than Dan's. Probably the youngest hard tyres on the racetrack. Che right up behind him. Now this could be a move for P7 potentially. Webb's in the pits. Wing change and soft tyres going on. So Che getting 2 places before turn 1. He's past Webbsy. Can he pass 10 to 2? Watching the mirrors, watching the outside as Che goes blasting through in that Ferrari. Takes P6 away. And the 30-second 5-lap chase up towards the leaders begins. I doubt Che can make it. But at the very least, he can try and open a gap to 10th. Try and ensure he finishes in 6th place at the very least. Emery stuck right there behind Cott. Keeping him at bay. He needs either Cott to get around Landlord or Landlord to make some kind of mistake. Oh, slightly left him down to the last corner. Now these two, in terms of not only just fighting each other, they've got to be inch perfect coming to the checker flag in 4 laps time, because if one of them gets a penalty, then that may cost him the race win. Hot passing Landlord, and now nothing separating the pair of them. Imri is right behind in the other in the house to try and take the RB. And Dan is a bit squirrely there behind Grumio, I think lagging slightly. Not sure that's my end or his. Well, I'm back with Grumio here. Really keeping him busy. Everyone else quite split up here. There's a large train. The only large train have been the leaders. Oh, yep, part of the circuit. That's Reggie off with the gravel at Villeneuve. JB now 15 seconds to his name. Comes down again. Three laps to go. It looks like Cott, Lando and Imri all closing in. Lando gets back around Cott, but Imri too far back to try another place. But he's got a penalty. He's got another penalty now too. 6 seconds for Imri, and that might be the end of this podium. It'll be looking like 4th place as it stands for Imri, unless Landlord either spins out and gets his own penalty. It could be easier for him to get his own one if he starts to fight with the 2 leaders. Landlord can still win this race technically. It must be forgotten. It was briefly forgotten in the fact that obviously he's probably more concerned with fighting Cott and Imri for that last spot on the podium, but now they've closed in and he's within DRS range. If we can hold that, we could still see a three-way race for the win, almost an inverse of last week's race. In what was Grumio fighting the 2 Ferraris of Dan and Che, it'll now be Dan fighting the 2 RBs of Grumio and Landlord. Potentially, the top 5 all back together again. Che and Webbsy obviously having dropped off for separate reasons over the course of this race. But Landlord, if he can close up, the 2 leaders might just snatch his first win of the campaign from right under their noses. 2 laps to go here at Imola. And back towards turn 1 here. 1 penalty for any of that top 4 could have crucial differences on this race. Now let us Dan make his move. Grumio trying to back up into Landlord. Teamwork at play here as RB try and fight for a 1-2 finish. trying to get themselves to close in on a day where Che has fallen away for P6. RB, without a doubt, will outscore the Ferrari team today. Hope to close that gap a little bit. If they can nab a 1-2, it'd be perfect for their case. A potential 1-2 will help them gain about 20 points in the standings, slashing the gap from 59 to 39 in the standings. But should they pull it off, a penalty on this last lap could change everything. And now Dan will be building up, but so will Grumio. Both these two cars, but Grumio's got a fuel light on there, so he's looking mighty close fuel-wise. No such concern on Dan's and FD. One more lap to go. 3 cars who could win this race. And Dan needs a big run this time. Grumio will employ his overtake, but it won't be enough to help to stop Dan. He goes to the outside of the track, looking to try to take the race lead on the final lap. Into turn 1. Grumio tries to outbrake him into the corner. Contact between the 2 race leaders. Grumio off on the grass there. And has to back out. Landon around the outside. Might try to take P2. Landon into the grass. There goes Cott to the inside. Grumio to the inside of Dan. On the inside through Tosa. This is for the race lead and potentially the win. Contact again. Both cars sliding. Dan holding on to the race lead. But Grumio will put under intense pressure for this final half lap. No one likes having the race snatched from them in the final furlongs, much less the record series champion. But Dan coping right now. They've only got a few more corners to go for that first RDL win. It's gone wide there. No penalty. Grumio may get one last chance going towards the 2 Ravatos, but I think it's going to be enough. Can't close in. Contact, close to contact, a slight tap there, but will not deter Daniel Aaron, who rounds off the last corner for the first time in his RDL career after so many tries. Daniel Aaron takes his first win in the Racers Driving League here at Imola. Grumio second, Landor third, Imrie fourth, Cotton fifth. A very exciting finish here at Imola. What a finish. It got very close. And I do wonder if there'll be a point to that lap where the stewards may potentially get involved. So this might be the end of the match just yet. Che comes to the line 6th on a day where he could have nabbed his 3rd win of the season. But we know that we're pleased for his teammate to be taking his first win and a victory for the Tifosi for Ferrari. 10th coming home in 7th. One of just 2 drivers to finish the race without a single penalty. Webbsy home in 8th. Yoglu in 9th. EJ 10th. Last place in the top 10. JB comes to the line in P11. I think Alvar should take all 3 of those places potentially, given the penalty situation. Alvar's P9. Yoglu will have the last spot in the top 10, I think. And Ben spinning around over the line. Very good start points there from the McLaren. AT up to a P11 in the end. The second car not to go with that penalty. Then it's Courtney Goblin and PJ, the last 2 cars. But there is your winner. Daniel Aaron, victor for the first time in his RDL career. Very tense stuff all the way around. And 10th Cannon driver of the day, I think well deserved. And I'm sure we'll get to hear from Dan here in just a moment or 2. He's offered him for the post-race interviews. But what a day, what an exciting race. Imola never really disappoints in this league. The track limits were a talking point, as we said. And this guy was just the one penalty, managed to pull away and still managed to win the race. So there he is for the first time in his RDL career. Dan stands on that number 1 step. And could this propel him into the title fight, perhaps? You never know, but today was start 145 for Daniel Aaron. He finished second 10 times in his career. And for the first time today, he stands on step number 1. That'll do it then for the racing. And we'll see now who comes in to the commentary box to end off this stream. And hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to Dan. And there he is already, our first arrival into the chat. P1 on the racetrack, Daniel Aaron, my friend, for the first time, is taking 145 starts, but you are a race winner. Congratulations. Dan, talk to me. You hear us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Well, mate, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Obviously, there was a little bit of wheel banging towards the end. Well, obviously, I'm sure the stewards will have a look at everything that happens throughout the race and whether there was any impediments, but to be able to sort of take it on track is a nice boost for my confidence. You know, I know that I can do it now. Hopefully this is the first of many this season for me. We needed it because Che unfortunately put on the mediums on the second stint. He was going to do what everyone else did with a medium hard, but yeah, it's just one of those things, you know. Unfortunately for him, championship lead gone now, unfortunately. We'll see how everything looks out in the stewards, as I said, but yeah, just good feeling.
Yeah, definitely. Of course, I did want to touch on the obviously the track limits over the course of the race. Just the one penalty for you. Pleased with that?
Yeah, very. After that, I didn't get a single other one, so yeah, luckily I was able to sort of use another one on the last lap just to make the defense a little bit easier from Grumio, because he was going to look every single corner no matter what. He was always going to look for the win. But yeah, obviously I think only a couple of people finished without a penalty. I want to say Alfie, I think I saw in 11th finish without a penalty. So yeah, it's take something around here, so well done to him.
Yeah, 2 drivers without penalties, both Alfie and 10th made it to the flag without a penalty to their name, so we'll get to speak to 10th in just a moment. But obviously, I know that you obviously just won your first race, obviously with pending Shields report, but and I hate to ask this now of all times, but is there a championship fight maybe in the drivers for you? Is there something there potentially? What do you reckon?
Well, I took 16, if obviously results stand, I think 16 points out of Che and 7 out of Grumio. So, you know, within 10 points of the top 2, extending my gap out to Imri. I think there is definitely a possibility for this championship, but yeah, a lot of races to go still. We're not even a third of the way through the season yet. So if I can keep on with these strong results, there's definitely a chance. But yeah, 17 races to go. There's a lot of points to be won and lost.
Fair enough, but I honestly, of everyone I've ever asked that question to, that's probably the most positive answer I've got, because the majority of people just told me no almost immediately. So, fair play to you there.
Yeah, I thought I'd give you a nice answer.
Thank you for doing that, much appreciated. And obviously, last question, in terms of Monaco next week, second 100% race, is that going to be hell on earth? What do you think?
It's going to be very, very different. It's definitely the most unique track that we drive this season, and to do 78 laps of it, however many will be behind the safety car, it's going to be a tough race anyway. Again, Grumio is a consistency beast, so he'll obviously be up there. Hope he loves Monaco. Hopefully he's back next week as well. Again, I just want to fight as many drivers at the top as possible and learn from them all. And I think Monaco, you know, being on edge all the time, it's a good track to learn that as well.
Good tracks to it indeed. Well, congratulations on the win. We'll have to obviously wait and see later in the week if it holds up through the stewards, but obviously congratulations for taking it on track. We'll move on now to 10th Cannon, who nabbed a 7th place finish at the flag, 10th if I'm correct, and without a single penalty as well.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised at that, to be honest. I thought I would have at least a 3-seconder, but I'm surprised that I didn't get any penalties. Unfortunately, it didn't really help me in the long run in terms of advancing my position. But I think where I finished is still a good result, regardless, considering I qualified 15th.
I'd say so as well. I mean, I'll admit there was a bit of concern in the commentary box when you came through P15 qualifying, but you obviously managed to drag it back. I did want to ask, it's obviously because during the second half of the race until Che came up to you, you were sort of in no man's land for a bit. So would you say that probably helped in not getting a penalty, because obviously you didn't really have anyone to fight with?
Probably. I think it didn't really do much for my concentration. It's tough to concentrate when you're kind of on your own because you're just logging laps on a game that isn't really fun to log laps on.
Yeah.
But I think I think just the car just handled really well. I didn't feel like I was losing control of it. I didn't feel like I was on edge of spinning or going off track or cutting corners. I did get a couple of warnings, but I mean, I would have been content with a 3 seconder. But I think to be one of the two drivers that didn't get a penalty, I'm quite pleased with that, if I'm honest.
Obviously, that gives you a few more points in the championship too. That might help you jump. Definitely jump Websy, maybe jump PJ. I'm not too sure, but we'll get to that later in the week. Of course, in terms of next week's race, Monaco, what we're thinking there? What's the outlook?
I'm scared. I don't really know what to expect from Monaco, to be honest. But I think I'm gonna be putting in the hours for it. Trying to get some practice if I can, because I'm definitely worried about that one. I don't. I think I'm. I think keeping it out of the walls and keeping out of track limit penalties is in my wheelhouse. But I think concentrating for that long is where, if if I am to make a mistake, that's probably where it's going to be. Is from just lack of concentration from it being a, like an 80-minute race.
Fair enough. Yeah, obviously Monaco can be a test in the old concentration, but we'll see how it comes up for you next week. Well, congratulations again on the point scoring and of course the lack of penalties. And we'll come now to
Thank you.
Red J, who of course commiserations. I think to both Mercedes cars. I've got both here in the chat with me. Red J, commiserations. Things perhaps didn't go how they were planned today. Give me your thoughts.
Yeah, very difficult race. Apparently, I did realise slightly throughout the race that I had connection issues, but I didn't realise they were as bad as when I finished the race and opened the chat. So apologies to obviously anyone's race who have ruined. Apparently, I took a few people out. So yeah, really frustrating. Didn't really have a lot of pace myself either, to be honest. It wasn't, too great. Had an incident at the start. Someone hit me up the rear, and then just a couple, really poor mistakes, unfortunately, throughout the race. So wasn't great, unfortunately. And I'm just really sorry to people's races that I ruined, who genuinely were like fighting for points and stuff like that. So yeah, not great.
I will say, me personally, I didn't catch any of those incidents on camera, so I'm not too sure. So I couldn't tell you, but obviously, yeah, I can imagine that being frustrating. But obviously, in terms of Monaco next week, what's the game plan there? Because I know you guys are okay with Monaco tonight, if I remember correctly, if my memory serves me right.
Yeah, I think I've only raced at Monaco maybe once. It just hasn't fallen other times when we've raced there. I think I've been away, and I think I DNF'd when we were last there. Obviously, I'll have to see. I don't know, because if these connection issues are more than just the storm that's in the UK at the moment, then it can't be fair on the other drivers that I race when, especially around Monaco of all tracks.
Yeah.
So we'll just play it by ear. We'll just see where we are in a week's time. But I would like to say, I mean, first of all, Dan Aaron, fantastic race win by him. Very much, I don't know what that does for the standings, but it's looking, he's definitely a title contender now. I think Yogalu as well, again. Another really solid performance from him. I think he's definitely got a massive future in this league. 10th Cannon was 7th as well. Really good. Well done to all the drivers that didn't get too much in terms of penalties. But yeah, from our perspective, it's not a great race from both of us. And yeah, definitely from me. Looking back in hindsight, should have retired, but I didn't notice the connection issues too much on my side. But I think definitely for the future, I'll be keeping the race chat open.
Fair enough. And do you know what? I'll say props to you as well, because no matter, I always notice it, but no matter how the race has been for you when you come in, you've always got some nice stuff out of everyone else. So I always appreciate and respect that from you. So fair play.
Thank you.
No worries at all, mate. Okay, so we'll come now to Obsessed Gamer, last of all, who more or less had the same sort of race. Obsessed, obviously, perhaps things didn't go to plan today.
I think I had pretty good pace. I got held up in a couple of places. And then pitting on the end of the first lap, not ideal. Had to get a new wing, and so I was on the hards until late lap. I don't know, 23 or something from then, which wasn't horrible. But towards the end, I was just spinning on the chicane, and that was not going to help gain any places. So I decided to switch on to the mediums, and I'm not sure if that was the right call. I think in the end, it probably would have ended up the same way if I'd stayed on the hards, because I did end up getting lapped while in the pits. But I think that was going to be the end anyway, getting lapped. I think that's how the race was going to be put in. And yeah, I think I had pretty good pace though, otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say I agree with you. We came to a few times. It looked like it had some flash of some promise over the course of the Grand Prix. So fair play to you for obviously going the distance as well. Obviously, for both you and Reggie, no score for Mercedes once more. Is it just a case of perhaps just reset and go again next week?
Yeah, hopefully we can get some next week. I think next week is just going to be a case of consistency and keeping it out of the walls and, staying in the race. I think last season we had, what, 10 or 11 people finish the race, and that was on half of the race. That was on a 50%. This coming week is 100%. So if things go the way that they did last week, nobody's going to finish. Or last season.
I'd recommend watching the Monaco Grand Prix of 1996 to get a sense of exactly how this one might end up.
We're basically hoping for like an Olivier Panis. That's what me and Obsessed need next week when
Yeah, I mean, you can always hope.
we qualify like 17th or 18th and about 3 cars finish.
You never know. Stranger things have happened. So yes, I'd say keep the heads held high, boys. And honestly, I see no reason why you guys won't score points at the end of the season, but it's just a matter of time as well.
Yep.
Oh, good talk from everyone who's come along to the commentary box post-race. Is there anyone got a word of the race you want to suggest? Penalty, that works. Coming from the one person in the room right now who didn't get any of them, penalties is the word of the race. So if you're in the chat, make sure to type the word penalty. And if you're not in the chat, you're watching this post-race, let us know what you thought of the race and type in the word as well in the comments below. So thank you guys for watching. It's been another fantastic RDL stream, a very enjoyable one indeed. Dan, I see you there writing penalty in the chat already. You're still here.
Yeah, I know. I thought I'd show some support.
Fair play. All right, well, good stuff, everyone. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. Next week's race will be on the, if I consult my calendar, that'll be on the 3rd of February. Of course, the big 100% race, the one that we've been looking forward to all season. It's Monaco next week. And let us know what you think of Pope. Be looking forward to Monaco in the chat below. So thank you guys for watching. Have a good, fantastic week. Make sure to get subscribed for more future audio content, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.